Hey, good morning, champions. Hope you're doing well. I want to talk about a very simple but very powerful triangle, we'll call it. Some of you may know what this is, but we call it a KRC triangle. And this is crucial, not just in forms of business, but in everything when it comes to life and growth and being in control. So let's go over it. This triangle stands for knowledge, responsibility, and control. Have you ever felt like a part of your life is out of control, or that you don't have a lot of control at that particular thing? Or maybe a part of your life where you are in control and you feel like you have great influence and control over that particular area of your life. Well, it all has to do with this. So the more knowledge you have on a subject, the higher your responsibility, your internal responsibility, you feel that you have control. It gives you control, but you have to feel responsible first. I'll give you an example. This is an extreme example, but I think it paints the picture. Let's say you're with a group of people, you're stranded on an island, and there's a plane on the island, but you have no clue, you have no knowledge, you have no clue how to fly that plane. There's no manual there to learn how to do it. You have no clue how to fly that plane. Well, your responsibility on the subject of flying you and your group of people off that island on the plane, it's not too high. It's like, yeah, it's a great plane, but I got no clue, and we'll probably blow up and die in the ocean if I try and fly out. So we're just going to have to find a different way. So in regards to that, I don't have a lot of control over using that plane. You know what I mean? Because my knowledge is low. Now, let's reverse it. Let's say my knowledge was high. I knew how to fly a plane. Or there was a manual there that was detailed. I could learn it. As your knowledge increases on the subject, now you've got knowledge. Now you know there's a plane there. And you're like, well, I know how to do it. Well, you feel that sense of responsibility. Well, now I'm responsible to use my knowledge. And I'm in control because I know what to do. So this works in every area of our life. This works, let's say, in our fitness. I can attest for myself personally, I didn't always used to be too physically fit. And at a point in my life, a little bit chubby and, I didn't have any knowledge on how to get myself fit. It started, though, in high school when I took an extra, you got those option classes. I had regular gym, but then I took the sports performance. Coming into high school, I didn't want to look the way I did, right? I wanted to look a little bit better for the ladies, right? But truthfully, I had no knowledge. I didn't know how to get that result. That started the process. Now the process has continued to today because the more you learn, the more I learn about how to get myself fit, the more responsible I feel to be that way that I want to be. And now I'm in control. I know I'm in control. I can control my fitness because I have the knowledge. The more I learn about about nutrition, let's say. If I don't know how the food affects my body, not just calories in versus fat, I mean like how the different foods and how it actually affects my energy in my body. If I don't know that, I don't really feel a lot of responsibility to do anything different than what I'm doing. So I'm not really in control. I'm just doing as I do, just going through, doing what I'm doing, drifting through things. Now, the more I learn, I start to increase my knowledge, start to get some personal training, start to talk to nutritionists, start to read some books and articles, and all of a sudden, now my knowledge is going up. Well, now I'm like, well, geez, I know how to do this now. My knowledge is bigger than it was before. Well, now I should probably do it. See, that's that feeling of responsibility. It's hard to describe it sometimes, but you can feel it. I know what I have to do, and I know exactly how to do it. Geez, I guess I should probably do it, but at least now I'm in control because I know how to do it. Well, I got to go do the discipline, of course, of doing it, whatever it is, working out, right? Prepping my meals, whatever it is. I got to do the thing, but I'm in control. I'm in control because I have the knowledge, right? I am in control. Now, that works for everything. Physical, financial, me being in the financial industry. Like I use Canada. I'm in Canada here, and I use North America as a great example just because I'm here and I understand the system pretty well. Most people, and I mean most, like the vast majority, like 90+% of people who live here in Canada, we all live in one of the best financial systems on the planet currently. It's amazing. We have every tool and everything we need to be financially successful and set up for life, and it's beautiful. But what is most people's knowledge base when it comes to money and finance and how money works? I believe the system is rigged that way. Call me crazy, people, that sounds like a conspiracy thing. Well, public schools, kindergarten to grade 12, I don't know about you, but I've talked to a lot of people out here, and myself included, never there was one mandatory class on finance. I think finance is a pretty important subject. It should be up there in the top, couple subjects. We should be learning about, how to think, how to process information, how to take care of our bodies, how money works. We live in an economical society. Money is important. It's not everything, but it's important. We should understand how the money system works very well so we can leverage it and use it to our advantage, right? And among other things, sales, influence, business, right? Communication, like so many different things, right? We should learn these things in school, but we don't. So because most people's knowledge is very low in finance, they don't know a lot. They really, I go to the bank, I got a checking and a savings, I might do an RRSP, heard of this TFSA thing, got a little pension at my company, and I get a mortgage, and I'm going to retire, and hopefully the government's got that CPP thing, and I hope it's enough, but whatever, YOLO, you only live once, whatever, no big deal. And 91+% of the population retires dependent on someone else at some point in their retirement and broke and not living their dreams and in a quite pitiful financial situation, especially living out here where we have no excuse for that. We have every reason in the world to be successful financially here. So that's a big problem. Most people feel out of control with their money because they don't know a lot about money. And they don't know a lot about the planning aspect and also how the financial system of our country and the world and how the cycles work. They don't get it. They don't know. Right? I didn't know for the longest time of my life. I started to learn through my company, but then through my own, after I got the spark of learning about money, I was like, well, this is pretty interesting. Actually, it wasn't what I thought it was. I thought money was boring. I thought it was accounting and all this, but it's actually very interesting because it's not just the money. It's how everything affects the markets and the money and the movement of money. And I have a strong belief that the mainstream world doesn't want a lot of people to get into the financial industry. And I'll tell you, this is an opinion, but I'll tell you why I believe this and why I think this is played out. Because the more you learn about money and the financial systems of the world, the more you start to see, there's a saying, it's like, follow the money. Watch where the money flows. See how it moves. People can say whatever they want, but talk is cheap. Watch where the money goes. That happens, especially our current but also past political leaders. They all say whatever they want, but look at the financial dealings them and their family are in and how it's connected to what they're talking about. It's very interesting. So I truly believe, because I came out of high school, like most, I think, people coming out of high school, I can't remember a single person coming out of high school who said, I want to get into financial services and the money industry, like accounting, because they promote taxes and accounting, but I mean like money, financial services, understanding money. I can't remember one of my peers, and I had a perception of money that's very different than what it actually is. When I thought about, if you said financial money, the money industry, financial services, I thought about, okay, accounting, boring stuff, math, numbers. Wasn't anything I wanted to be a part of. It just didn't sound fun. It didn't sound positive. But here's a couple things about the financial industry and why it doesn't make a lot of sense. You can go on Google and you just type in on Google, what industry produces the most millionaires? Number one is financial services. In modern times, financial services has created the most millionaires out of any industry. It's above technology, it's above real estate, it's above everything. It's number one, financial services. So, highest paid industry on the planet. Number one. Number two, it's actually got a very low saturation. There's not enough financial advisors. Not enough people in financial services, like by far. And don't quote me on this stat. This is just an example where real estate used to be like what we are today in financial services. There used to be a surplus of homes, a lot of people coming in, the baby boomers coming in looking for their first homes. Totally different game. I know in Calgary now, and I can't remember if this was a Calgary stat or Alberta stat. Don't quote me on it, but I remember the number. There's like 8,000 or so realtors in, let's say, Calgary, and there's only about 2,500 to 3,000, something like that, homes sold per year. Well, you tell me, that's a pretty saturated market. There's a lot more realtors than opportunities in the market. Doesn't mean you can't make money in real estate. Don't get me wrong. I know people who make money in real estate, but different situation, different business times. Financial services, completely opposite. There are not enough people in our industry. So few. And the average age of a financial advisor is 63 years old in North America. Like retiring soon. And not enough people in our industry. But this is where I get to. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Again, we're all coming back to this. It all starts with knowledge. But coming out of school, like you would think, if anyone wants to get into business, what are you looking for? I'm like, I want a business that's profitable, that there's a big demand, and that I can help people with. I want to feel good about what I do. I want to make lots of money doing it, and I don't want to be struggling to find people who want this, what I'm offering. Some businesses is such a small, fine niche that they have to find. And, it's not, again, you can make business out of it, it's just different. Financial services, everybody wants to retire. Everybody wants to have tax strategies. Everybody, for the most part, wants to have some form of real estate in their life. Everybody wants their kids to have money for school. Financial services has a massive demand. There are not enough people in the industry. And you can do the research yourself. It's the highest paid industry on the planet. And to go and get your license and government certification, through our firm, after everything's said and done, your broker code, it's like $500-600. Super low barrier of entry, highest paid industry in the world, massive demand. But majority of people have a totally different view on financial services and don't even understand finance, number one, and also the industry and the opportunity. Knowledge. I strongly believe, based on the facts of what I see, the reality that I see, and that I've talked to a lot of people and I've asked them about their reality, and it's very, very similar. There's not a lot of knowledge or information that's, and I say this, that's given by authority. Because there's tons of knowledge on money. There's actually so much. You go on Google, you type in like financial education or financial, millions or maybe billions, I don't know, I haven't looked at have hits. Tons of resources. There's so much. There's too much knowledge on finance. So much. You can get lost in it and never find your way out if you're not careful. It is a lot of information. Who do you trust? Who's the authority? Who do I listen to? Right? Where do I get that knowledge from? And that's what I mean. Our schools don't teach money. Kindergarten to 12, there's no mandatory classes about finances. Right? Parents, well, hey, again, I love my parents and I appreciate what they've taught me, but they only knew this much of how the financial system really worked. So of course they could only teach me what they know. So the knowledge is passed on from generation to generation, and trust me, there's and I say this the right way, wealthy and rich run in they work in the same system, but they run by different rules and fundamentals. The same system, got access to the same resources, same companies, it's all in existence, it's already here, but different knowledge, different information, different upbringing on money, different mindset, different paradigm, different wiring. And that makes the world of a difference. That makes such a big difference. That's why they say, for someone who's gotten very wealthy and done it successfully, you can take away all their wealth, but they've got the wiring. They can go and do it again. They'll probably do it bigger because they got the fire to do it bigger, right? But that's the thing. That's why you see so many people who win the lottery. Not all, but the vast majority of them become broke because money always finds its way back to the people who understand money. Most people just go out and spend it. They don't invest in assets that they leverage to buy their lifestyle. They don't know what to do with it. Zero clue. And that's why most people who, this stereotypical, the sport athlete that gets the big contract, blows all the money, becomes broke. The lottery winner blows all the money, becomes broke. Why is it? Well, it's not the money. They had the money. They weren't in. They lost control of that money. Huh? They lost control of that money. Right? Well, I can almost guarantee you. And responsibility is important because if you don't feel responsible, if that level, if you don't take responsibility of it, it's hard. You don't see it. If I think about myself, it's hard to feel responsible about something if I don't understand it. That's why I think knowledge in this relationship here, to get control over money or anything else, but we're talking about money right now, I need to understand it. There needs to be knowledge. I need to know, how does the financial system work? How does it work on a very personal, individual? What do I do? Like, how do I organize my finances? Like on that, but I think it's also important to know on like not just a micro level, but a macro level, right? I'm learning more these days now about how the cycles of the world and the economics have worked for a long time, and I'm watching it play out in our current world, and it's kind of eerie because it's it's evolving over time, but certainly human nature repeats itself, and it's happening in front of our eyes. But the more you understand, I tell you what, if I didn't understand what I'm learning now, I would not feel as in control. Because right now, I have an idea of what's going to happen. I don't know for sure. I don't think anyone really knows. Maybe a couple, but not too many. But I feel a lot more in control of what I need to do right now versus where I was not that long ago. And there's that old saying, right? It's the more you learn you need to learn. And I believe it's true. Because as you dig deep, as you go into the rabbit hole, it opens up. You learn about, you think you know a lot, but then something pops up and you realize this, whatever this was, this topic, this thing, opens you up to a whole new world of things to learn. And you're already on your one track of learning, but now you got this whole new world you need to learn about. Then you're going down that as well. And then you find a couple things in there and they open up, and then it's like, oh man. And that's why I tell people studying and gaining knowledge is the most important thing. I was a horrible student because I didn't want to do my homework. And I wish, mind you, I believe if our school system was designed differently, I would have felt much more desire to learning, for sure. But it wasn't the case. Regardless, though, I wish I had learned sooner in life this and the importance of studying, about studying a subject. Whatever it is I want in life. If I want to be wealthy, I want to study wealth and wealthy people. If I want to be a good doctor, I better study being a good doctor. How the successful doctors have done their work, how the body works and all the systems. Like, you better study what you want to do. If I want to be happy, I better study happiness. And the people who've been the most happy, what were they doing? What fulfilled them? What can I take from that? Study, I want to be healthy, I study health. I increase my knowledge to get health. If I'm not, people are losing control in their lives in so many subjects, so many areas, so many departments of their life. I guarantee you, if they made a serious study about those areas of their life, they would feel much higher level of responsibility to now do something about it, and they would be in more control. I guarantee it. And again, it's common sense. You don't have to, this isn't some esoteric, spiritual thing. It is spiritual, I believe, but it's not like anything far out. It's like, if I want to be an engineer, I got to study engineering so I feel the responsibility and I can take control of that area. That area. There's no way, right? I can't do it if I don't, right? I need to study it. And it goes the same with everything. Every single thing. So you ask yourself, okay, what do I want more of in life? Let's use money. I think money's a common one. Okay, great. Well, talk to Jason. We got a financial workshop coming up on Saturday. Yes, I'm plugging myself because we're doing something in the money area that I think is important. But whether it's money, fitness, whatever, you got to find that thing to study. If it's fitness, go get a personal trainer. If you don't got money for a personal trainer, go online and start reading articles. Start reading from professionals. There's tons of it, right? Bodybuilder.com, even if you don't want to be a bodybuilder, but they got some great articles on there about nutrition, about how to exercise. There's some good stuff there. Read the articles. There's tons of them. Start gaining the knowledge and then putting it into application. But I promise you, the more you understand, the more you read, the more you listen to, the more knowledge you gain, automatically you're going to start to feel more responsible in that area, and you're going to want to take control of that area. So where I can help. For any of you, if you've listened already, we're 20 minutes, right? But if you've listened this far, I know you want to take more control in areas of your life. I want to help you take more control in the money area. There's a lot of ways we can do it, but I'm going to tell you about, I think, the most important one up front on Saturday. So 2 days from now, right? Today's Thursday, Saturday, just making sure I got my days right. At 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for 1 hour. You got to send me a message though, because I'm going to send you a workbook and I'm going to get you registered. We're starting our financial education workshop series. It's going to be there's 4 workshops right now. There might be a 5th, might even be a 6th down the road, but at least there's 4. Everything from debt management to increasing cash flow, investing, retirement, asset accumulation, kids' education, estate transfer, you name it. There's tons. There's so much knowledge. And these ones aren't like we have our presentations that are more of a sales pitch to show you, hey, this is what we do. Here we can help you. This one here on Saturday, not that. Purely educational. Purely educational. We want you to learn about money. Of course, I'm going to say, hey, if you want to learn more and learn how to implement what we just talked about, reach out to me and I'll happily help you through it. But come get the knowledge. Learn about the subject of money. And it's going to help you in more than just the money, I promise. You're going to learn about the subject of money. You're going to get in more control with your own finances. But then you're going to start to see the world the way it is, from a different light. And all of a sudden, you're going to be able to start to look down the road and be like, I think I know what I have to do to adjust to make sure I get the most out of what's happening and don't fall a victim to the happenings of the world. So that's my big suggestion for today. Again, please acquire the knowledge you need in that area, which will increase your level of responsibility. And then it's going to allow you to be in more control of that area of your life. We need more control, especially in days like today where a lot of the world and a lot of people feel like they're out of control. Well, start learning. Our education system sucks. The learning does not stop at school. Don't get me wrong, there's some good post-secondary and we've all had some good teachers, right? If you want to go be a doctor, you better go to doctor school. But I mean, like the school that the majority of us went to is like, that's just the foundation we had to get through to get the thumbs up to start the race, I guess. I don't know. The real learning starts now. The real learning is you sitting down and making a couple goals. I'll do some more videos. I think I did one. If you go back on my YouTube, you'll see one where I did the quadrants, the 5, right? The physical, mental, spiritual, financial, and purpose, right? Find a subject in each one of those and start studying. Start. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Read an article a day on each one, right? But like, if it allows me to have more control in my life and get more out of my life and make more money and be more physically fit and be happier, that's worth the little bit of studying. Pretty much all of us, and I say us because I fall a victim to it too sometimes, but how much time do we spend scrolling aimlessly or doing useless stuff either on, online, social media, video games, like useless, completely useless. We do it sometimes, de-stress, whatever. I think it stresses us out more because we're not doing the things we should be doing. Point is, we all have time in the day. Take some of that time and invest it in learning and gaining more responsibility and getting control of your life. Hope you enjoyed this. If you like it, share, subscribe to the channel, and spread the love. We'll talk to you all soon.